Browns fans and coaches alike have been drooling at the opportunity to see what Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. will look like together on the football field. One guy who already knows what that is like, Adam Henry, the wide receivers coach for the Browns, coached them both when they were at LSU, and he is thrilled that the three are all reunited again.
Well, I had a lot of text messages. I had over 400 text messages, so it was crazy, and people were calling, and I had an idea but didn't really know, and it was crazy. And I remember talking to Jarvis, and Jarvis was like in tears, and it was just like, is this really real? So I was leaving, basically leaving the office.
Did you have any kind of emotions the way Jarvis did, or?
I'm not really emotional that much. I kind of stay the same. I'm the youngest of 8, so I just kind of stay the same.
How did Jarvis and Odell make each other better?
Just in competition every day and pushing each other, just striving to be. I mean, if you do something, they coach each other up. So it's a form of peer pressure that's very positive.
Are you hoping to see that over the last few weeks? I mean, is there any sort of disappointment that they weren't out here to see that?
No, he's going to work. He's a worker. He's a guy who works hard. He's always in condition. You got to save him from himself when he's practicing. So because he'll just go and go and go. He's like the young person with a ball. If there's a ball being thrown or kicked, he wants it. He wants to play. So even course of practice, offense may not be going, the defense is going. He's doing something. He's a busybody that way.
Do you feel like his best ball is ahead of him?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
What makes you say
that? Because he works hard at it. And if you look at it throughout his career, the first 5 years and what he's done, most people don't realize, missing the first 4 games as a rookie and to be on the path and to do what he's doing, it's not that many people have done that.
And what about the fact that he'll be getting the ball so accurately and so deep from Baker? What impact do you think that'll have?
That plays a part, but again, it's about football IQ because of what Freddie is doing in the offense. The biggest thing is you want a guy who has a good football IQ where you can move him around and you can produce touches. So he's not always in one static position where they can now, scheme him up and put 2 people on him. So he's a guy who has a brain where you can put in the backfield and move him around and do all kind of different things with him because he learns the picture instead of the position.
Can you speak to the development of Rashard-Higgins over the last 2 years? Is he better than you've seen him, or?
Yes, he's progressing. He's a guy who's plays multiple positions, so he's like a jack of all trades, and so he's a guy who really knows his knowledge of it is really grown, and he fills in, he does whatever he needs to do. He's a good special teamer, and so I'm really pleased with his progression right now.
What's his greatest skill?
He has a little savvy. He has some savvy with him, catching radius, finding spots and finding holes. He has a good rapport with Baker, so a me to you. So he's a guy who has a good football IQ.
Coach, did you recruit Landry and Beckham when you were at LSU? Were you involved?
No, they were there as freshmen. They went to the national championship game, and then I came after that. So I was with them with 2 years. Yes.
But you knew all about them.
Yes.
Hard not to.
Hard not to.
Is it hard to believe that you guys all wound up here together after all these years?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of surreal. I don't know. It's kind of awkward, but I just kind of take it and go. But it's something that it's like a storybook.
Yeah.
So you just kind of, follow along with the story and paint the picture. So.
What about the 2 of them together? Will there be any issue with them pulling on Baker to get me the ball more? No, get me the ball more?
No, they're like brothers. They're like brothers. There's nothing, they're competitive, but they're brothers. They're going to try to make each other better. And you'll see it at times at LSU, and, Odell's blowing the top off, and Jarvis is underneath catching a touchdown. They're pointing at each other, talking about thank you while he's going in the end zone. So it's one of those things.
What about the other side of this depth chart? Maybe the 4, 5, and 6 guys, the guys who are going to get a lot of reps out here when the top receivers are gone. What do they need to show you during OTAs and also during minicamp?
Just consistency, making plays on a consistent level, because they're going to be pushed and pulled in a lot of different positions and not stay in one position. Because you and I know, as you do the roster during the course of the season, there's attrition, so there's injuries. So you may be playing one spot one week and then you got to play another. So as you sharpen your skills and your football IQ to play multiple positions. And it's about spacing and timing and rhythm and about distribution and getting in spots where you need to be. So the biggest thing is being where you need to be, when you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to be.
How beneficial? How beneficial is it for these guys that maybe wouldn't get first team reps?
It's huge.
To get
It's
those reps with
huge
Baker?
because you get the reps with Baker, so it's a huge thing. So for them and taking advantage of it, the guys I'm pleased with the progression and taking advantage of it.
Do you think this market will be, sort of enough for Odell coming from New York? Is he going to be happy in Cleveland where, the bright lights aren't shining all the time?
I believe it'll be great for him because the fans are tremendous here. The fans are great. They're receptive to him, and they're going to let him be him and accept him for who he is. And I believe this is a great market for him and a great place for him.
Many believe that there's a need for maybe a bigger wide receiver. Dorian Baker made a few plays today. What is he working on, and what have you seen from him so far in OTAs?
There's all different types of receivers. You want big, small, whatever. And so he made a couple plays. And so just bringing him along, again, he's a rookie who just came in, so he's being thrown in and getting a lot more reps than he normally would get. And so it's going to be beneficial for him, especially in training camp, and to be able to show that and put that on the field when we get into the preseason.
Jalen Strong did not play last year because of an ACL, I believe.
Yes.
Is he showing signs of knocking off rust, or what's the state of him physically and mentally in this offense?
He's a guy who wants to practice all the time. He's like on me after meetings, coach, I want to practice. I said, just take your time and go through it. So you got to slow him down some. So he's a guy that I have prior relationships to him when I was at LSU and he was in junior college. I actually recruited him. And so he ended up going to Arizona State. So he's a guy who I had some history with, and I know he's a kind of player. I love the way his body looks. He's leaner. He's thinner, and he's getting himself there where he needs to be.
Does he have the quickness and speed of prior to that injury, or is that still coming?
It's coming. What I mean is because when you're bigger, there's always a range or marginal because of catching radius. When a bigger guy is big, to be very fast is a plus, but he's a guy who has speed. But with that size, that's a plus. That's what you really want.